A hard state? This opinion by Shahab Usto addresses Pakistan's authoritarian tilt over democracy. The recent in-camera civil-military huddle at Parliament House once again unfolded three conceptual cleavages that have rent apart the polity. Huddle is a noun meaning a private meeting or discussion. Conceptual cleavages is a phrase meaning deep divisions in ideas or beliefs. Rent apart is a metaphor meaning deeply divided or torn apart. This sentence means a private meeting revealed deep divisions within the political system. 1. The establishment continues to seek stability through a hard state, or a state that prioritizes security over other constitutional and democratic imperatives. Establishment is a jargon word referring to the military and ruling elite. Hard state is a jargon meaning a state focused on coercion and security over rights. Imperatives is a high-level word meaning essential needs or commands. This sentence states the elite prefers security over democracy. 2. A major component of the political leadership continues to differ with the mode and object of the counterterrorism strategy, besides questioning the legitimacy and continuity of the military-backed hybrid regime. Mode and object is a formal phrase meaning method and goal. Legitimacy is a high-level word meaning lawful right or justification. Hybrid regime is a political jargon meaning a government with both civilian and military elements. This sentence means political leaders oppose the strategy and question the regime's legitimacy. And finally, the military leadership remains unhappy over the governance gaps, which it sees as the key reasons behind the spike in terrorism. Governance gaps is a jargon meaning failures in administration and leadership. Spike is a phrasal noun meaning a sudden increase. This sentence suggests the military blames poor governance for rising terrorism. Thus, the old unresolved questions about the nature and object of the state, the legitimacy of the political system, both the earlier and existing one, and poor governance continue to plague consensus-making on the fight against terrorism. Plague is a metaphor meaning to cause persistent problems. Consensus-making is a formal noun meaning building agreement. This sentence states that unresolved issues hinder unified counterterrorism efforts. These questions will remain in place unless their answers are sought from the ultimate sovereigns of the Republic, the people of Pakistan. Sovereigns is a high-level word meaning supreme rulers or authorities. This sentence suggests only the people can resolve these core questions. Only they have the legal power and moral authority through their chosen representatives to determine the nature, role, and performance of the state and its institutions. Moral authority is a high-level phrase meaning the ethical right to lead or decide. This sentence means only elected citizens can decide the state's direction. But the people are nowhere in the conversation. Again, this sentence suggests citizens are excluded from decision-making. In fact, all forms of people-state interface the legislature, ECP, judiciary, and media have been numbed to the point of ineffectiveness. People-state interface is jargon meaning institutional connections between people and government. Numbed is a metaphor meaning made inactive or unresponsive. This sentence states institutions meant to connect people and the state are ineffective. Even the democratic facade is being dismantled brick by a myopic state and political elites for security and stability. Facade is a metaphor meaning outward appearance that hides reality. Dismantled brick by brick is a metaphor meaning gradually destroyed. Myopic is a metaphor meaning short-sighted or lacking foresight. This sentence suggests democracy is being slowly destroyed for security, but trading democracy for stability has never paid off in the absence of a robust rule of law. Trading democracy is a metaphor meaning giving up rights for control. Robust is a high-level word meaning strong and effective. This sentence suggests stability cannot last without legal justice. Indeed, unbridled authoritarianism has caused inequities, conflicts, misgovernance, and even collapse of state structures. Unbridled is a metaphor meaning uncontrolled. Authoritarianism is a political jargon meaning absolute power without checks. Misgovernance is a jargon meaning poor administration. This sentence means unchecked control leads to chaos and collapse. No wonder all international wars 1948, 1965, 1971, 1999, in the decades-long war on terrorism were arguably triggered by military dictators or under the security establishment's influence. No wonder is an idiomatic expression meaning unsurprising. Team. This sentence states many wars were caused by military leaders. Even the wounds, KP and Balochistan, inflicted on the body politic can be traced to misconceived foreign and internal policies devised by military rulers. Wounds is a metaphor meaning damage or trauma. Body politic is a metaphor meaning the nation as a political whole. Misconceived is a high-level word meaning badly planned or mistaken. This sentence means regional conflicts stem from military policy failures. Yet, renewed efforts are on to forge a hard state, raising two questions. Before opting for an authoritarian or military option to deal with terrorism, have the proponents of the hard state objectively analyzed the state's failures to end this menace over 3 decades of kinetic operations? Forge is a metaphor meaning forcefully build. Menace is a high-level word meaning a threat or danger. Kinetic operations is military jargon meaning armed interventions. This sentence questions whether forces work to stop terrorism. Secondly, has democracy ever really had a chance to employ its vast conflict-resolving repertoire, a representative parliament, an independent judiciary, rule-based responsible governments, a free media, and above all, an accommodating socio-political environment to engage, negotiate, recompense, pacify, and integrate discontented and estranged sections of the populace? Repertoire is a high-level word, meaning a full range of tools or abilities. Recompense is a high-level word, meaning to make amends. Estranged is a high-level word, meaning alienated or isolated. This sentence asks if democratic tools were ever allowed to resolve conflict. Just imagine, if there was a truly elected parliament giving effective representation to Balochistan, in terms of allowing every citizen and not just powerful tribal chiefs or pro-establishment elements to freely contest elections and win the popular mandate, would there be a cause for the Baloch insurgency or military operations, which are ripping the federal fabric? Federal fabric is a metaphor meaning national unity or structure. This rhetorical question suggests that real democracy could have prevented Baloch unrest. Or, had there been a fiercely independent and just judiciary coming to the rescue of citizens abducted by state agencies or harmed by militants, would there be any desperate families and affected people taking to the streets and clogging the cities and thoroughfares? Clogging is a metaphor meaning overwhelming or blocking. This sentence means an independent judiciary could have prevented public outcry. Or, had rulers been genuinely wary of public and institutional accountability, would there be so much inefficiency, recklessness, and corruption in the public sector, leading to pathetic service delivery? Or wary is a high-level word, meaning cautious or alert. This sentence suggests accountability could have improved governance. Or, if public policies on war and peace were left to freely elected representatives, reflecting the collective wisdom of the people, rather than to a closed coterie of generals and politicians, would state and society experience so much bloodletting from terrorism, counterterrorism, wars, and insurgencies? Coterie is a high-level word, meaning a small exclusive group. Bloodletting is a metaphor meaning widespread violence or killing. This sentence questions the wisdom of military dominance in policymaking. Misconceived state policies have pushed the country into an abyss. Abyss is a metaphor meaning a deep crisis or disaster. This sentence means poor decisions have caused national downfall. No doubt, societal conflicts and international wars have shaped human history. This sentence states war and conflict are historical constants. From the founding of the Akkadian Empire, 2350 to 2150 BCE, to the present day, the world has seen a bloody scramble for territories, markets, resources, and glory. Scramble is a metaphor meaning chaotic struggle or rush. This sentence highlights history's violent struggles for power. But wars have also led to the crumbling of great imperial and colonial powers: Austro-Hungarian, German, Russian, Ottoman, British, French, Japanese, leading to the creation of a large number of independent states. Crumbling is a metaphor meaning collapse or downfall. This sentence means empires often fall due to war. Many of these states were multicultural. They needed inclusive and equitable political systems to resolve disputes rooted in identity, faith, land, and resources. Equitable is a high-level word, meaning fair or impartial. This sentence states diverse states need fair governance. Thus, federal and multicultural democracies successfully accommodated and even absorbed varied and conflicting interests. But those who resorted to authoritarianism and coercion failed miserably. Accommodated and absorbed are metaphors meaning accepted and unified. Resorted to is a phrasal verb meaning turned to as a last option. This sentence means democracy works better than force. Pakistan does not match the classical Westphalian model of one nation, one state either. Westphalian model is a jargon meaning nation-states with clear national identity. This sentence means Pakistan is not a homogeneous nation-state. It is a melange of various geographical, ethnic, religious, and sectarian entities, and needs a truly federalized democracy under an able and wise leadership to establish a stable, peaceful state. Melange is a high-level word, meaning a mix or blend. This sentence states Pakistan's diversity requires inclusive governance. It was important for the new state to instill a feeling of commonalty, participation, and ownership in diverse ethno-cultural sections. Commonalty is a high-level word, meaning shared identity. This sentence means unity should have been promoted early on. It could have taken a page from successful federal and multicultural states such as Switzerland, the UK, US, Canada, Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, and others. Taken a page is an idiomatic expression meaning learn from. This sentence means Pakistan should have followed successful models. These states have in varying degrees successfully constitutionalized the distribution of powers, authority, and resources among the constituent units, both horizontally and vertically. Constitutionalized is a jargon meaning formally structured under law. This sentence means successful countries fairly share power. But in Pakistan, multicultural challenges were met with a lethal mix of authoritarianism and a religio-nationalist ideology. Lethal mix is a metaphor meaning dangerous combination. Religio-nationalist is a compound term meaning mixing religion with national identity. This sentence means Pakistan responded with repression and ideology. Thus, the historical fault lines, religious, sectarian, ethnic, and sociocultural, were papered over by a superimposed state that increasingly relied on coercive policies and apparatuses. Fault lines is a metaphor meaning deep societal divisions. Papered over is a metaphor meaning superficially covered or ignored. Superimposed is a high-level word meaning forcibly placed over. This sentence means divisions were ignored by a forceful state. Resultantly, the country became a battleground for competing groups and interests, with some resorting to employing extremist and militarist means to achieve their goals. Battleground is a metaphor meaning site of conflict. This sentence states repression led to violent competition. Deplorably misconceived state policies have pushed the country into an abyss. Deplorably is a high-level word, meaning sadly or regrettably. This sentence repeats the idea that bad policies ruin the nation. There is discontent all around. KP is crying for security, Punjab for political justice, Balochistan for rights and representation, and Sindh for resources, particularly land and water. Crying is a metaphor meaning desperately asking. This sentence means every province demands different forms of justice. The authoritarian model of misgovernance has failed. Misgovernance is a rhetorical device implying failed governance. This sentence states dictatorship hasn't worked. To repair the frayed fabric, Pakistan desperately needs to cultivate soft power democracy, justice, education, arts, culture, science, technology, rights, liberties, and the environment. Frayed fabric is a metaphor meaning damaged national unity. Soft power is a political jargon meaning influence through culture and values. This sentence means reform must focus on human development. The hard state was neither conceived nor promised by the founding fathers. nor has it worked over the decades. This sentence rejects the authoritarian model as unoriginal and ineffective. The promise was of federal democracy. It's time to redeem it. Redeem is a metaphor meaning fulfill or restore. This sentence urges a return to democratic ideals. The writer is a lawyer. Shahab Usto at hotmail.com, published in Dawn, April 4, 2025. Nor